everyone felt a part of something extremely special.
That's great. Very sentimental. Time's up. Next question. Lads, sorry lads, stand back, give the men some space. Lads, I have here the 17th most wanted man in Scotland.
That's correct.
17th?
17th most wanted man.
I see, okay.
The only one to drink from every distillery.
Exactly. So,
And survive.
And survive.
distillery, Sonny Red, the 17th most wanted man in Scotland. You might as well.
Come on in.
Shoot.
Welcome to another episode of the Sartorial Boardroom. Today we have our special guest here again, our sales professional, Sonny Red, and we are at this beautiful establishment here, the Lodge at St. Edward Park, which is a nice historic venue, and we are going to be discussing choosing the right venue for work and personal occasions, because choosing the right venue is a type of sartorial act in that if you get it right, it says a lot about you, and it can set the tone for the evening. So, venue selection principles are things you want to keep in mind when you're choosing the place to have your colleagues work, take your employees out for dinner, take the fine damsel out on a date. What are some things you need to consider when you're choosing the right venue?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. And what to wear at different venues as well.
And what not to wear.
And what not to wear.
The what not to wear girls will tell you how not to drive. We will tell you what not to wear when you're entertaining the what not to wear girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
Whatever that means.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Convoluted.
We're going to start off with some questions here for our special guest here, specifically about client entertainment. So the man, the myth, the legend, Sonny Red, is here with us.
Sonny Red.
Sonny Red, the proven sales professional who understands where to take a client and how to pitch the ideal pitch.
And in a sense, Sonny Red has been the architect of this tragic affair.
That's right.
I usually am.
Yeah.
If you look up the Titanic, my name's somewhere involved in the storyline.
True story.
And that ex-girlfriend of yours.
She was on the Titanic.
Oh, well, she had a.
Wait a minute, how old are you, Sonny?
No, she had a backside that mirrored the
Wait a
the
minute.
bow.
No, wait a minute.
That was a good-looking bow. I don't know what you're talking about, but I will tell you,
We're not talking
she wasn't picked up in a lifeboat.
All right.
All right.
Let her go.
So, well, on that note, I have some questions for you.
Yes, sir.
All right. When you're selecting...
Cavalcanti always does, by the
do,
way.
yes, yeah.
He always has excellent questions.
Monsieur Lecomte.
And all of you listeners of this lovely channel have probably noticed that his questions are quite insightful.
I hope so.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I hope to learn here.
I have to give you a little bit of props once in a while.
Thank you. When you're selecting a restaurant or a venue to entertain a client, what are the top factors that you consider?
Well, that's a great question.
Hold that thought.
We're gonna time his
Go
answer.
ahead.
I love it. I love it.
The sand timer.
A sand timer. Very
Had
important.
that overnighted.
It feels like the whole episode turned into a version of Aladdin.
So the top three factors that you consider, the top factors you consider.
That's an excellent question, Cavalcanti. So I think there's a couple things that need to be considered in the process here. So first of all, you got to know what kind of clients you're taking out and why you're taking them out. If it's a more casual business meeting or after golf or something that is more business casual, you're going to be looking for a polished casual establishment, something that's comfortable, something that's not too noisy, the price point's right, the ambiance is respectful and professional, but it doesn't need to be overly upscale for an environment like that. And a lot of golf courses and golf clubs, even private clubs out there in the United States, they have very nice restaurants, but you'll quite often notice that they are not, in many cases, the Michelin star leading dining experiences that you're going to find in one-off places around the world in some of the greatest cities on earth.
Yeah.
So you need to know the kind of clients you're taking out. I think one thing, regardless of where you take clients for a business meeting, whether it's networking, whether it's your own company, employees, managers, superiors, one thing that is critical, don't pick a noisy place. There is a place in society, I know that the Kaiser will have different opinions on this, which is fine. But there is a place in this world for the sports bar and the dive bar, but not for business meetings.
Okay.
Not for business meetings, not for networking, not for showing admiration and appreciation to employees or to clients. You want to pick something that is a quieter and more respectful atmosphere than that. And generally speaking, I would say that it would also be, look at that. I'm going to keep letting the sand run because never rush the hands of time with Sonny Red. That was good.
That was good, yeah.
I'll just say this. One thing I would stay away from, generally speaking, unless it's a very casual business affair or a large group of people, is I would stay away from large chains. Chains are not necessarily bad. They have their place. They do a lot of great business. They have great price point. But large chains out there, like an Applebee's or things like that, they have their place and time that's right for a dining experience.
Applebee's?
Yeah, I'm just going to throw this out there for you.
We're not sponsored by them.
Now, you got to understand something. Kaiser goes to bed at like 2 p.m., but you got to understand something. If he was out with me at 10 p.m. after a night tearing up the town,
I wouldn't go to Applebee's.
well, at a certain time you would, because it's the only thing that's open with half-price appetizers.
Is it really?
It is.
Oh, well.
You always got to know where to stop.
Told me that ahead of time.
Yeah. See, he might actually roll out with me. Well, now the Count could never be caught in such a casual establishment as Applebee's.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
He's a taco prick. What are you talking about? What are you
Actually,
talking about?
and for our listeners,
Go to late night street tacos.
he does. So for our listeners, can you say that louder?
I do late night street tacos.
Did you hear that?
Is this a sex joke?
No?
You can find this gentleman cruising the streets for a deal on tacos, Taco Tuesday. So sports bars, dive bars, casual dining establishments that are large chains, they have their time and place where they're a great place to stop by and get food at a good price and get an inexpensive cocktail or an inexpensive beer or glass of wine. There's nothing wrong with those places. But when it comes to networking, business meetings, showing appreciation to clients or employees or colleagues, always pick something that's a little bit more elevated. It doesn't need to be expensive, but it needs to be a classier and more inviting, peaceful environment so that conversation can ensue and there's a sign of respect.
So in other words, you're saying, Sonny, that it needs to be prudent
At this juncture.
in this juncture.
I don't know what
It
that's
needs to
from.
be prudent in this juncture.
I don't know what that's from.
Well, the juncture you're shooting for is this. The juncture I shoot for is this.
All right.
Now, but those are different junctures.
No, let's not get too far off topic now. I have another follow-up question related to venues.
He's getting nervous already.
Because we're talking about entertaining clients, and there we go, and also like where to take employees or colleagues. We'll also need to talk about like where to take your romantic interests. So tell me about a time where the venue the venue itself played a major role in closing a deal or strengthening a relationship with a client.
That's a fantastic question. That is a fantastic question. So, once again, there's different tiers of establishments that you can go to based on what you're trying to accomplish, or how close you are to that client, business colleague, employee, or I think, as you just mentioned too, it could be in your personal life with dating or close friends and family.
Yeah.
I'm a huge believer that with your inner circles, the people that matter to you most in your family and friend groups, we're not talking acquaintances.
Inner sanctum.
The inner sanctum.
Oh, is that the same thing as the inner
Wait
rectum?
a minute.
But I'm going to totally fly over the top of that.
Okay.
Because no one needs to hear that.
No.
But actually, maybe some people do need to hear it.
None of our
Kaiser.
listeners probably.
But I will say that with your inner circles,
There you go.
it's extremely important to show them the admiration and respect and appreciation that you have for them. And so I'll give you an example. When I got into the beverage industry, working in wine and spirits for large distributors.
And just to interject really quick, pause.
Yeah.
Because Sonny's also in the waste management industry, but
it's the sanitation business.
yeah, well.
It's the sanitation
Yeah, all
business.
right, but anyway.
We keep the streets clean. Yeah. We keep the garbage clean. And if you have a problem, you call us.
Yeah.
you dial 1-800-SONNY RED. And try that and figure that out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to dial that.
You'll be on hold, but you will be on hold for a while because there is a long waiting list.
Sorry, resume.
No. So I'll give you an example, and these are great questions, Cavalcanti. The Count asks good questions. So a few years back, I had very close family and some of my closest friends in my whole life with me when we attended probably one of the most prestigious dining establishments in the Pacific Northwest region of the United States. And the reason I chose that account...
Place?
He doesn't have to disclose. This could be a secret place.
Do I need to disclose?
I don't know.
Well, we can get to that.
All right.
But the reason why I chose that establishment, even though obviously it was not an inexpensive location or bill in terms of the food and drink options available, is because this establishment that we went to is internationally rated on their wine list, on their cocktail programming, on their Michelin star dining. And the experience when you go there, it's not just the food and drink, it's how you're treated. It's all the little details. When people, it's a cliche statement when people say, oh, pay attention to little details. No, the little details matter. When you go to a really high-end establishment and you're spending good money, and the server is constantly keeping your water glass full. They're constantly monitoring your table for every little thing that you may need. And when you have an interaction with your hostess or your server where they are building a story and an experience for you, that's not just having dinner. That is celebrating humanity. That's celebrating greatness. That is very important. So I will tell you that the establishment we chose, it was to celebrate the retirement of one of my family members. And that act of going to that establishment brought the family and the inner circle of our closest friends even closer together because everyone felt a part of something extremely special.
That's great. Very sentimental. Time's up. Next question.
No, wait a minute. Now, would you? I
like this.
Just to close on that, would you say that the customer service that you received at the venue kind of implied the customer service your clients would expect also from you if you were to take someone to a nice place?
If I were to take a client to a place of that caliber, of the establishment that I'm thinking about, yes, it would be because the clients and I have a relationship or we are doing business on a level in which it needs to be made very clear that that is how seriously we take it.
And let me interject though, Michelin does not come to the Pacific Northwest. Now it might be in a Michelin guide.
There was,
but there are no Michelin star restaurants in the Pacific Northwest for good reason.
So yes, and so.
But it could be very well in the Michelin guide.
It could be. So
when you get your tires rotated and you're looking through that rag.
That is correct.
Some places that are
that are of great caliber. So no, and there are a lot of phenomenal places to dine in the Northwest. However, that is correct.
This is true. Yes.
That is correct. Yeah. And so to keep in mind, that is. Yes, where you take people doesn't, like if you take someone to a less expensive place, but it's still a nice place, it doesn't mean you don't value them. Right. So one thing I want to make clear with this is the establishment you take them to doesn't mean you don't value them. It might be that you have, well, let's be candid here. Some people have budget constraints. Other people, it may be the company or the kind of business they do. It doesn't make sense to go out to a Michelin star restaurant. Right. And that is okay. That's not a bad thing because one other thing that I want to keep very much in mind on this conversation is there's a right establishment for all scenarios, and there's a wrong establishment for all scenarios. Yeah. But the number one most important thing is authenticity and making sure that you're taking people to the right establishment based on the situation. Yeah. And if you are being respectful of that, all the people that are with you at this establishment are going to have a great time.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Is that a fair?
That's fair, yeah.
All right.
And I was just thinking about the other things you need to consider is what the client would be interested in eating, too. I went to one company dinner to the butcher's table, which worked out great because everyone wanted giant pieces of steak.
Yeah, and the butcher's table is a wonderful venue.
But if you were to take a vegetarian there, it might not go so well.
Well, and one thing that I
should know a vegetarian.
Well,
trouble.
And that's probably true. But what I will say is,
and I love the animals, but there's so much more that comes with the vegetarian mindset. Yeah.
So tasty.
So
Because let's be honest, I am a unrelenting animal lover, especially after a couple of drinks. But that's a
absolutely.
different story. But you know what I mean? That there's associations, political associations with the vegetarian mindset. Yeah,
there are definitely some
no,
concerning.
they're not as bad as the vegan mindset. But sorry to hijack that.
No,
I got to
no.
get in my little political cuties.
Actually, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
We're gonna take a brief detour.
Pivot to the Kaiser.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna come back and also talk more about company dinners. But let's talk about romance for a second.
Yes.
Yes, we'll ask our resident Romeo over here. No, I don't know. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want that title.
Oh, I don't mind.
He doesn't mind.
I
Okay.
don't mind. Yeah.
No, he doesn't mind. He appreciates it.
I used to get jiggy with it. Yeah. Whatever that means.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah.
Let's say that you were trying to pick the perfect venue for a memorable romantic evening.
Yes.
What things do you consider when choosing the perfect place?
Well, that has a lot to do with the level of the damsel. You know.
Okay, now remember, don't get yourself in trouble.
Well, no. You know, are you just looking for a short engagement in Congress? I'll just use that term. Or are you looking for something further?
Yeah.
Is this an in between? Is this a side thing? You know.
Yeah.
So if you were to ask if it was someone you liked.
Let's say someone you want to have a long-term relationship
Yeah.
with. Yeah, what do you look for?
What do I look for in a restaurant?
Yeah.
Well, there's a few specific restaurants I could mention, but our global audience wouldn't recognize them. But I am a fan of the elegant steakhouse no matter what.
Okay.
I agree.
Oh, yeah, for the elegant steakhouse, because first of all, the protein and the creatine you're going to get from that steak, if you order the right one, is going to put a little, let's just say a little twist on the end of your punch, you know, and if you know what I mean, if you order it properly, and a gentleman never orders a steak any more than medium rare, and so, but an elegant steakhouse, some beautiful, three beautiful bottles of wine, a martini, but you go to an elegant, nice steakhouse. Hopefully, doesn't necessarily have a dress code, but has a dress code suggestion.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And the thing about that is with the dress code suggestion, a lot of cities don't have that. The city we live in does not have that.
Right.
Is what that does, it gives you a chance to elevate yourself above the other gentlemen there that they're in their grubs, their shabby dates. So what you've elevated yourself in your attire, you've elevated the evening by taking her a delicious place.
Yeah.
And I mean delicious all the way around. You know, you sport the money for the valet parking, so she doesn't have to walk in her too far in her Louis Vuitton heels. And you start the evening off, preferably if you're being tactical. Show up a little early, tell the reservations are earlier than they actually are, so you're segmented to the bar, and so you can. What was that delicious drink you ordered? What was that?
Oh,
Yeah. Well, anyway, you get a martini in her, and
we were at a steakhouse ordering my company's gin in a beautiful cocktail.
You get have a martini, and then you're escorted to your table, where you have hopefully a beautiful bottle of wine to start. And,
Very important at a steakhouse.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to have good wine, and
Yeah, wine is an art. It's an art and a science.
Exactly.
And wine at a steakhouse is, I would argue, a must.
And we could do a whole episode on what wine to order at which establishment, yes. And I could talk about that for hours too.
Yeah, likewise.
And the funniest thing is I know so much about that subject, and right now I can't even think of my most favorite wine, which is so funny. But loosen up the old thinker this.
Well, we're a couple martinis in.
Yeah.
Couple. We've been here since noon. It's 7 p.m.
I had to steal one of his olives.
That's fine. Yeah. Take as many as
Cavalcanti can't handle three
So
stuffed
did I
olives.
even answer the question?
No, you did.
Okay, yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
So, and I believe the steakhouse, it can pass for something that you have going on the side to something that you have long-term plans with. I really do. It has that sort of, I believe, application. I believe, though, if it's a short-term thing, decently priced Italian restaurant, you know.
I agree.
It doesn't have to be too fancy. If it's just something that's fleeting, you know.
Yeah.
You know, if it's not something you want to invest too much in.
And I will say too, tied into that, you can find elevated cuisine establishments in many different types of cuisine. So always keep your eyes open based on the person you're taking out for a date,
Yeah.
casual or serious, or back to business too, and on the networking side.
Yeah.
You know, you made a good point earlier, Cavalcanti, about knowing who you're taking out and what their dietary needs are, and
Speaking
also what.
if I don't interject, I will totally forget this.
Yeah.
Be very careful, chaps, on taking women out to ethnic restaurants. As much as I love certain types of ethnic food, but you go out to a Greek restaurant, you go out to a perhaps maybe a Persian restaurant or an Indian restaurant.
Love all that food.
Yeah, I know, love all that food, but the problem is that radiates out of your pores.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're engaged in something, you know,
It could affect the evening.
it can affect the evening, and so that's just a thought. No, if
Yeah.
you both consumed it, you know, it's not that big of a deal. But
Then you're intertwined in the
you're
cuisine.
intertwined in it. But yeah, that stuff can be
We call that marinating not just the evening, but your life.
exactly. That's the way to look at it.
But yeah, no, I mean, knowing who you're taking out and what their dietary needs are, that's also very important. You know, if you're doing business with, let's say you're working at Boeing and you're doing business with a Japanese airline, you're going to take them based on what your clients like to eat to a restaurant and a type of cuisine that is respectful to them and that they're going to appreciate. Just as on a nice date, if you're really pursuing an individual that is worthy of a lifelong relationship, don't be cheap.
Yeah.
That is the wrong place and time to be cheap.
Yeah.
Spend the money to respect the lady.
And speaking of money, I have some good
Money?
advice. Good advice for people who are employers or executives or managers, and you're taking your employee or your team out for dinner. One thing I think it's important, choose a place that really shows you value the contributions of your team or your employees. Don't take them somewhere where, go ahead, yeah, where it seems like you're being maybe not appreciative enough of the hard work they put in. If your employees are really giving you their 100%, make sure that you value their contributions when you take them out
That
to
is
dinner.
so accurate. Yeah. 'Cause
Other thing is,
Well said.
Other thing is, don't let there be any ambiguity on how it's going to be paid for. Make sure that if you are the manager, the executive, the employer, that you make it known that you're paying the bill, or actually have it arranged in advance with the server.
Correct.
To cover the bill. So
The golden rule in my industry, and I want to piggyback off that,
ahead,
is that the most senior person should always pay.
Yeah.
Now, unless there's another arrangement, and if there's another arrangement, that is 100% fine.
Yeah.
But when it comes to a senior leadership, the most senior person should pay and take care of their junior people.
Oh, I agree.
I have
It
a
is
story.
it is a respect.
I have a story on that too, but I will tell you what,
Yeah.
because I have a story on that too, and I have a seedy story on that.
Okay.
So more seedy stories.
All right.
A girl in Philadelphia joke, and Sonny Red and all his controversy. All of this when we return.
All right. So my story.
Yep.
All right, so we're talking about making sure there's no ambiguity on who's covering the bill. I'm not going to mention any names. I hope the person doesn't even will watch this. Maybe he will, and it'll be helpful. But I once went out with an executive and the whole team, multiple levels of management, and the highest level executive there, probably high six-figure, low seven-figure salary, paid for the bill initially, and then asked everyone to Venmo their portion of it.
Really?
I kid you not.
This wasn't and this was obviously invitation that was.
Invitation by the executive.
Let me just say for the record real quick, if you work for a company where your leadership does that, the first thing you should do is put in your 2 weeks. The second thing you should do is go on Indeed and find their competitor and immediately apply to work for their competitor. That is
Getting funny over
that
here.
is trashy.
Yeah.
No, and I appreciate Cavalcanti sharing this with us because
Should move a little left.
That is a
Yeah, we're in the sun
that
now.
is
That's all
a
right.
behavior that leadership should never do.
Yeah.
And remember, leadership doesn't mean you need to be the CEO. Remember, you could be a manager and have, let's say, 10 sales reps underneath you.
Yeah.
If you're taking them out as a celebratory function to thank them for their hard work, for the men and women that work for you,
Yeah.
take good care of them. The golden rule in life is, they always say treat others the way you want to be treated. Well, if you invest in your people, what are they going to do for you? They're going to work harder, they're going to do better quality work, and they're going to make you as a manager look better. So never, ever, ever skimp out on treating your people well, because a lot of people and a lot of companies and organizations do that in the modern world today. It is the reason why you see such a lack of loyalty, in employment, because loyalty went out the window. Can I go on a tangent for a second? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Set the timer.
Your time change it.
Let's set the timer so people can really see the
Well,
time.
that might block. It's not blocking your face.
No, that's fine.
No, it's not blocking.
All right, yeah.
Now you can see how long it's going to take. So here's the thing. Corporate America in the United States underwent so much change prior to me being alive, obviously, but post World War II all the way to the modern world today, 2026. Corporate America has gone through so many evolutions. Some things good, some things not good. One of the things I would argue that is not good is there is an incredible lack of loyalty. And why is that? It's not the employee's fault. It is a lot of companies' faults, because organizations became short-sighted. Everything became short-sighted, short-term gain, quarterly earnings, employees are numbers. When you are long-term, as a strategic thinker and as a leader, and as a company, when you think long-term as an organization, and you treat your people well, there is loyalty and there's buy-in, because people will stay with you and work with you and innovate with you, and they will fight with you in the good times and the bad, because they know that their leadership is going to pay them well, they're going to give them good benefits, and more importantly than that, even the little things, it goes back to the little things. When you show appreciation and gratitude and genuine compassion and mindfulness for your environment and for the people that work for you, it pays dividends for decades.
Now, can the compassion be fake?
It can be.
Because I'm super good at that.
I know, and there are certain industries where you'll do very well with that. But in all sincerity, it's super important. And a lot of people don't understand this, and I meet people to this day where they pretend to care, or they put on a facade. None of these gentlemen here. These gentlemen are the real deal. But
I like to joke about it.
I like to joke about it, but you're the real deal. I know you off the camera. You're the real deal. Here's the thing. I know people out there.
Like Holyfield?
Yes, like Holyfield. There are people out there that I know. These are not people in my inner circles. They're not people that I would die on a mountain for. They're people that treat me well and I treat them well. But when it comes to genuine appreciation for individuals, they don't have a clue. They are completely lost. They don't understand how to actually build buy-in and build relationships quickly, because they do not show appreciation and they're not genuine about their intention. And that is a big mistake. And you will find that in the old world and in international business, there is a lot more genuine appreciation, because it's baked into a lot of international cultures. That's why I love to do business with international folks in different cultures around the world, because there is a lot of family-driven and genuine values about how you treat other people.
Yeah, traditional values.
Traditional values.
Yeah, you don't get a lot of that here.
And I am a diehard patriot, as both of these gentlemen know, and I love the United States more than any other country in the world.
A patriot?
I do call myself
Loyal
a
subject
patriot.
to the crown?
No. Although my ancestors actually were part of the crown, but that's a complicated story for another day. But what I will say is that, you think that's going to stop me? What I will say
Must be
is,
$27.
It better stop you.
let me get out my miniature Stradivarius and start playing for you. But no, in all sincerity, like, other cultures nowadays do a better job about that. America is an amazing, amazing place to do business and live. It really is. It's my favorite country in the world.
Depending on the state.
And yes, depending on the state. But I think the big thing that And us Americans,
demon.
yes.
We'll wreck you.
I agree with that. But the real critical point I want to make here is for all of us American citizens that are listening to this channel is we can elevate ourselves. We can elevate how we treat people and how we interact. It's not beyond us. And we used to do a better job of that in previous generations. We need to go back to that, and we need to reinvest in that, because America is as capable as any other nation in the world of showing that gratitude and compassion and that genuineness in hospitality and dining and hosting people and networking and taking people to nice establishments and showing appreciation. But we have to get back to that.
And
It's not impossible. It's just been forgotten in modern American culture, and it is a tragedy.
Yeah, and we can talk about the rules for professional hosting to kind of help our audience get back to that. If you are hosting, whether it's a client or employees or a date, make sure that you have been to this place before. It shouldn't be the first time arriving at that restaurant. You should have either dined there previously or know a little bit about it. You don't want to be caught off guard by the menu or some unknown aspect of the restaurant. You should know the menu before you arrive.
Research. Oh yeah.
Do your research. Know the menu before you arrive.
Can I interject one thing there though?
Okay.
Real quick. We got sand. We got sand in the and yeah. So I agree with him. I will say that there are situations where sometimes you don't have that luxury, and you have to go to a place that you have not been to before. The critical thing is do your research.
Do your research, yeah.
Because you'll find that if you read the reviews and you also study what the place is about, you'll get a good idea if it's appropriate or not. Yeah. Now, I do agree with Cavalcanti that...
I never read the reviews of places.
Oh, I do.
I don't. The thing about it is that they're so skewed.
They are skewed.
Yeah, they are so skewed.
But
some of the best places I've ever been to in my life have had some of the worst reviews.
That is true, but I will say that it still gives you just a barometer for what you may be dealing with. It doesn't mean that the reviews are correct, but just paying attention to the general subculture there.
Yeah. But do some research, right? Handle the logistics around payment right away. Don't let that become like at the very end awkward moment where all right, who's paying for what?
Yeah, you have people that will be obviously attempt to be polite and do that little dance like they're pulling out their money or attempting to collect their out of their coin purse, you know. You don't even want it to get to that.
Running over to Money Tree.
Exactly. But the problem with that is, this is years ago when I was worked in a form of. I like that.
That's cool. I'll learn something.
I don't like the blue one. I don't like the blue one.
You don't like the blue one.
What color do you want?
That's a good color.
Next one.
That one's off.
That one.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Anyway, where I worked in, whatever. What is it? Okay.
There it is. There it is.
I worked in a upper management position. This is a long time ago when I was able to actually get a job, right? A real job.
Yeah, before you didn't have to work for anyone else.
Yeah, before I had to work for anybody else. And you would have these dinners and little events that the employer the corporation would throw, and what would happen is you would have lower management and a lot of entry-level people that would bring their significant others just to mooch off of the free dinner, just to mooch off of the free event. And they were unbelievably vulgar, but a lot of that does have to do with the social political climate of the part of the globe we live in. A lot of that they just thought they were due, they're owed.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that went on, and it just repulsed me too. It's like the attitude if someone is wealthy, it gives you the moral right to steal from them or mooch off of them. Or it's disgusting. And I hated that company, and I hated the people I worked for. I hated the people I worked with. I've actually, now I think about it, I don't like you either.
Well,
actually, no, I got to go. What am I doing here?
Well, speaking of that,
before you go,
I'm joking.
Before you go, let me get a mirror out.
I'll tell the jokes.
Before you go, make sure you follow us on Instagram. We have some great outfit ideas.
Wait, is this the call to action?
Yeah, it's call to action. Make sure you follow us on Instagram. We have some great outfit ideas on there. Comment down below. Let me just finish this. Comment down below on what you like to consider when you are choosing a venue, and tell us any stories if you have gone to a client or a salesperson's invited you somewhere, or an employer has invited you somewhere, and it was less than ideal. Tell us your stories. We want to hear about that. Yeah.
Can I just say real quick?
Yeah.
I'm just going to steal this right off your screen here, but I have to do it. I just have to do it. don't forget to like and subscribe the Sartorial Boardroom,
Yes.
to follow these two fine gentlemen in their pursuits of excellence.
And you as well.
Me as well when I'm here, but it's
Once a month, I'm gonna spring it on Cavalcanti. Once a month, I'd like to do a episode with Sonny Red.
Okay,
Once a month,
okay.
and I would like to do it somewhere maybe different here.
I would love that.
I like this location.
This location,
And it's yeah.
it's very, very, very
I like this location.
beautiful.
Yeah.
The venue that we're at right now, speaking of a classy venue, this is an incredible facility.
Yeah.
Now,
Historic.
if you like and
this
subscribe,
stuff,
if you're Stanley Tennessee Cobb,
No.
just stay out of the comment
yeah.
section.
What's with the bubbles now? Now
I don't know.
Bubbles.
I don't know. But he can.
So we have a commentor that likes to troll Sonny, but
He
he's not
does.
really that much of a troll, and he's designated you as Sonny Bubbles.
Have
I
you
don't
ever-
even get the bit. I don't get it.
If you've ever seen an amoeba under a microscope or an image of what an amoeba looks like, that is Stanley Tennessee Cobb.
No,
I mean, there's just no substance there that makes any sense. Now, hold on real quick now. Now, Stanley Tennessee Cobb can fantasize about me all he wants. It's good for business, so keep it coming, buddy.
Yeah.
Keep it coming. Play cornhole. We'll be around for you. But here's the thing I will say. For all the rest of you, because the rest of you are normal, wonderful, and passionate people, follow these two gentlemen, like and subscribe the channel on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. Hit the bell, as they say.
And you have to fix the Facebook.
And
I have to fix the Facebook.
and when I say hit the bell, don't hit the taco bell. Okay, that's what I do, and that's the mistake I make. Hit the bell and subscribe to the Sartorial
Yes.
Boardroom, because there's so much good content that's coming out from these two fine gentlemen here.
Yes. And
Now,
you as well.
before we continue anymore, we haven't really talked about the sartorial side of this.
We haven't.
I do want to have a moment where we talk about
Yeah.
what would you wear while entertaining a client.
Yes, yeah. Sartorial Boardroom. Get it?
Yeah. What would you wear while entertaining a client at a restaurant or a venue like this?
What type of client? What type of business?
Let's say, we're trying to target. Let's say it's like a corporate, like a high dollar client.
What would I wear?
Oh.
I would not be so sartorial. I would stick with my dark gray, my dark dark navy. I might not even go for a peak lapel on that, just because it's too sartorial. I might go for a wide notch lapel. Just I would white pochette, pocket square. A muted tie, and I would. If I wore a tie, and I would stick with the white or the light blue shirt on that, yeah.
Okay.
And I might not even, because I don't want to elevate myself above his own status, especially if I'm trying to secure a deal, So I might even forego cufflinks and just go to button cups, even though I don't have any shirts.
I think I would actually keep the cufflinks and forego the tie, maybe.
Oh, okay, all right.
I don't know which one's more.
For me, it depends. Like if I was meeting, let's say I was meeting with a owner of, even though that was in construction, but he was in the corporate side of construction.
Yeah.
Am I going to go? I'm going to show up all sartorial and with my flashy pocket square and my rope shoulders and my peak lapels and this and my $2,000 French shoes. I'm not going to do that.
Right. No.
Just like it's
true.
Yeah, exactly. So I would mute it down. I would probably stay rather British.
Okay.
And
Well said.
I wouldn't be French. I wouldn't be leisurely Italian. But I would be, yeah.
I would go definitely with the cufflinks over the tie.
Okay.
I agree with you on that. Open collar is nice. Another thing too is with a lot of high net worth individuals and clients in the United States, depending on what you're doing, like if you're playing golf and then finishing off with a meal afterwards, you'll find that a lot of the wealthiest and most powerful people in this country and around the world quite often are very understated.
Yep.
They're exceptionally brilliant, quite often very pleasant to be around and very humble, and they're very disciplined, which is why they got to where they are. And so coming in to an environment and coming in, as we like to say, too hot and heavy.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
However, it was medium payload last week.
Yes.
Yeah.
But coming in too hot and heavy can actually play to your disadvantage.
Yes.
Read the room. If your clients are like, hey, we're going to meet for a nice lunch afterwards, and they're in a golf polo like this and have some slacks on, some nice shoes on, that might be the right appropriate attire.
Yeah.
If you're meeting with a company where their dress code at the office in South Korea or in Japan or Italy,
you probably want
everyone wears a minimum a sport coat or full suits.
Yeah, full
then
suits
you're
usually.
probably want to lean into the full suit, right?
Yeah.
So it definitely is contingent on different cultures.
On the location, the culture, and the client too. I think even in the U.S., if you're a Wall Street banker, you should probably show up with a tie.
Yeah.
Wall Street is a whole different animal.
But especially if you're on the East Coast. On the West Coast, everything's totally different, which is unfortunate. But on the East Coast of North America, even in Canada, in Montreal, compared to Vancouver, Canada, it's a world apart.
It's a big world apart.
Obviously, Montreal is, they're going to be more elevated.
I think we're at the point where we should probably talk about what we're wearing. Do you guys,
What we're wearing, yes.
you guys agree?
Sure.
Who goes first?
Yeah.
Sonny Red, our guest of honor?
Sonny Red.
Well, I'm not wearing anything to write home about because for me, the threads don't stop Sonny Red. But I'm wearing a nice custom golf polo so I work in the beverage industry, so these are golf balls with the T, with the flag for the hole.
I thought those were drinks.
Well, they are fashioned in the design of an old-fashioned cocktail.
Okay, all right.
So that is my golf polo.
This is just for the polo.
I have custom fit black slacks on, and because I was feeling a little bit fresh and a little bit gangster, I decided to, separate of the Ferragamos, I have brand new K-Swiss white on white silver trim sneakers on, and
retro cool.
And my Movado. Nothing to write home about. These gentlemen obviously came in with an entirely different level of style.
Sonny Red brings a personality.
I bring the personality.
Everybody got a personality. Yeah.
All right.
The gabagool.
They're Kaiser.
They're Kaiser.
Yes, please go ahead.
Today I'm nettled at what I was wearing. What I'm wearing. I had a huge problem with it. I almost doubled back and changed.
It looks fantastic.
Well, thank you. You're sir. So I have my flash jacket by Spear & McKay, nice peak lapel, and I need to get these sleeves tailored. Look how wide those sleeves are. So I'm going to take it to Sonny Yell, get that sorted out.
Good luck with that.
Believe it or not, this button-up polo today, and it's a short sleeve, so I'm not showing any cuff, which is just unbelievable. This is actually an Eton, and believe it or not, these are tiny little. It's a pink shirt, obviously. Tiny little fish.
They are.
Yeah,
I can confirm.
And I would say you get a whiff of that because, not that I smell like fish, but there was this girl I used to know in Philadelphia,
Wait a minute.
and unbelievable, twice baked halibut every single Thursday night. I would just be swimming in that. Woo! School of trout.
Sounds like lobster bisque at the right hour.
School of trout.
By the way, Eton makes fantastic.
It does indeed.
Fantastic items.
Pochette today, we have my Rampley & Company Triumph of Bacchus.
I like
worn
this
this
one.
before.
That is beautiful.
A nice light color with that light blue. He's there with his. There might be some unsavory stuff that goes on here, but a little too many of the cherubs there and not enough of the Sheilas. But what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do? Have
Can't change history, I guess.
my lapel pin Front National, which I don't really get into. It's not called that anymore, but Marine Le Pen's party. And I'm wearing a pair of, can't see them, white sand-colored Belstaff jeans, and my Crockett & Jones. Beautiful Crockett & Jones brogued
Yes.
suede boots.
Beautiful.
Yeah, shoot for me, shoot.
All right.
Oh, and I'm also wearing my
thank
no
you.
fragrance today because we can't have that stuff on here. My Bulgari Diagano Pro Aqua. Yep.
Excellent.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm wearing the J-Press tropical wool jacket and the J-Press linen shirt here. My pocket square is I got the Battle of Pointe d'Arcole, which is circa 1828 painting by Horace Vernet. And
Very nice.
Yeah, it pictures the French and Austrian armies at battle with Napoleon holding the flag. A Rampley & Company, of course. And then
Of course.
trousers are a gray tropical wool by Kit Blake. And the shoes are brown loafers from Allen Edmonds. And my timepiece today is a samurai with the Shuiro waffle dial. Love this watch.
And it's in the vermilion waffle dial.
yeah.
Beautiful, yeah.
Yes.
Priceless.
And,
Good.
yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, so, decent episode.
Yes, thank
Beautiful.
you for joining us on another episode of the Sartorial Boardroom.
Yes,
We hope
indeed.
to see you next time, where we'll have more great sartorial topics.
How was the day?
And career
Cavalcanti?
topics.
Monsieur le Comte?
Oh my goodness.
That was the day.
It was a beautiful day. I'm gonna have to put these glasses on. It's so sunny.
It's a beautiful day.
I think our dear friend here would agree that it was a beautiful day.
Yes.
Why is he sitting on the table? But yeah, beautiful day indeed. And this is a invitation to like, subscribe, and tell your 4 friends, and join us on this dire villainous journey. Yeah,
Absolutely.
dire indeed. Yeah, with Sonny Red.
Excellent.
All right.
I will see you in the next one.
See you in the next one. That's all.
Beautiful.
That's all.